morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hello, Leroy.
Hello. Just watching the Giants giant.
What a week for them.
What a week for them.
What a week for them. That poor John Mara. I mean, he's not poor because he's very rich. But I mean,
not him, but under no circumstances. Okay, and I believe this to be 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
Can the owner have more concerns about what's going on the field than the professionals he's hired? Meaning that they should always be able to respond with why things look the way they are. But when we watch that Hard Knocks or whatever, and the owner says, I really don't want Saquon Barkley to leave and go to a division rival, and the guy's like, don't
worry about it, John. Don't worry about that.
And to watch him just obliviate everybody, it's unbelievable. And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking before. The only time Daniel Jones looked good was when Saquon was playing running back.
That's true.
So, like, you not only ruined your offense, but you also ruined your quarterback.
Look how slow these guys look.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus. If you guys missed it last night, Saquon Barkley, 300 total yards, broke the Eagles record for rushing. I think it had 255.
255, yeah. You know what? Interesting stat. No running back in the history of the NFL has run for 300 yards.
Really?
I think the record's 295.
Wow. Well, let's get to some headlines, you rascals, which are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory, like the Tucson, the Sonata, and the Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai, and locally, your Miami Dolphins put a beat down on the New England Patriots.
Question.
Yes, sir.
When the game started, they went down on that first drive.
Mm-hmm.
Were you thinking, come on?
A little frustrated. Then the doink happened. I was like, all right.
But you know what's weird about that? Like, and this is with all teams. I have not been able to figure out why the first 10 plays, because a lot of teams script their first 10 plays, why they always seem to work. And then you do nothing the rest of the game. It's a weird thing.
Defer to you on that one, dude. I have no idea.
I don't know. We didn't. I only played. I think Brian Billick was the closest I got to scripting plays. Belichick in Cleveland was more of a situational guy. So we had plays for situations. Everybody was familiar with the plays. So it was almost like we knew the game plan from head to toe because we knew all the situations and the plays we're going to run situationally. So, but that's, I think Andy Reid does it. I think it's the West Coast offense thing. So anybody that's been associated with the West Coast offense, they all script their first 10 or 15 plays. And they look good for a drive.
I think the thing that honestly, like, it was great. The offense looked awesome yesterday, but the thing that had me fired up out of everything yesterday, this Chop Robinson looks like the real mother bleeping deal, dude. He looks like the real bleeping deal.
Havoc.
Wow.
Havoc.
That poor right tackle.
Oh my goodness.
That dude, I don't know what that's got to feel like.
You know what it's like sparring.
Oh
right?
My God.
When the trainer holds up the pad, 1-1-2 champ, 1-1-2. He was using all of his tools, the bull rush, the up and under, the slap, he had everything going.
Dude, he was a monster. And by the way, that was a fumble. Okay, if you stop the guy's arm midair, you don't get to say you don't get to say this.
No.
What was he doing? The Cam Ward up here? Like, get out of here.
Here's why you have to do it that way. Because you don't want to leave it into the hands of the officials. So they have the rule as such. If he has control and that thing starts forward, it's a pass. And you have to do that because you have to have these rules because you don't want the officials standing in a huddle deciding. The rule is the rule. So I'm telling you, live, I'm like, oh, here we go. But then they slow it down and they get to watch it slow down. I will tell you, the coolest play, Zach Sieler.
Oh,
look, he was sacking him. Like he just give him a little. I tell you what, their quarterback's gonna be pretty good.
Drake Mack?
Yeah,
yeah, he looks pretty good.
He looks pretty good.
He looks pretty good. I mean, if he makes it to the rest of his career, the poor guy's getting killed. Sealer it on up.
Yeah, that dude's a beast, and people are starting to recognize him not just here, but around the league. Like they talk about him all the time.
Dade South says, I saw a whole bunch of tough catches from Waddle, Tobin. You want to know something, dude?
Shut up.
And I had him too.
Answer for your crimes,
I
dude.
said on the pregame show he was due.
Yeah,
I called that game yesterday, dude.
Answer for your
I'm not
crimes.
answering for my crimes. I love Jaylen Waddle.
I believe you.
Let me get this straight. This is the only man that I know can trash a player. Then when the player plays well, takes all the credit.
Dude,
for
takes
the
credit
Right.
for
Are
it.
you kidding me?
I said yesterday because
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you
are
right now.
not. You
I
are
have
not.
receipts. I have receipts. Okay. Anybody who listens to the Game Day Uncensored yesterday can tell you. I get on the Hard Rock app because we have Porpoise props. I look, I'm like, Jaylen Waddle's touchdown number is what? It was like 2-1. It's never been that high. Never. Not in his history of a Dolphin. I'm like, that's disrespectful. He's due. And you're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome, dude.
You're welcome.
I made you guys money,
Okay, yeah.
and I told you that he was due.
Great.
He was awesome. Tough love. And by the way, it wasn't even tough love. I was just
What?
asking questions.
Were you? Because
These inquiring minds wanted to know. And there he was.
Jaylen Waddle's on an 8-month touchdown fast.
Jaylen Waddle's a bum. Get him off the team already and trade him for Devontae Adams. Wow. Jaylen Waddle, haven't seen your touchdown dance since before last Christmas. Which, by the way,
He didn't even do it.
He's retired it.
Apparently.
Or it's on hiatus.
Check this out. The owner didn't.
Nope.
It's getting.
He was so excited.
Hey, it's getting a little bit too.
In that moment, he was like, extension, well worth it. Because he was feeling it.
I tell you what, that was as crisp of an offensive performance as you will see. I'm talking
Beautiful.
about with the location of passes, with the routes. You didn't have any situations where, they do this thing where I thought you were going to, everybody was where they were supposed to be. The offensive line held up, now.
Uh-oh.
Mike McDaniel, are you out of your rabbit ass mind? You don't take a quarterback out with 13 minutes left to go in the game.
Got a little full of himself.
And did you see as soon as the ball hit the ground, Tua got his mouthpiece in his helmet? Like, come on.
I don't understand why Skylar Thompson, because is he just the mush right now? Like, he's just out there. How did disaster strike in that fashion in such a bad way?
I don't even know if it was fully his fault.
I don't think it was fully his fault, but
I'm
just
like-
he was around disaster. And
Yeah.
you're just like, all right, get out of here, Skylar.
It's totally blaming him because Jalen Wright was running great before that. Now all of a sudden fumble.
I
'Cause
tell you what,
you got
they're pretty
there with Uno. He's just like throwing the ball. He goes,
backwards.
watch this sleight of hand. Like
Wow.
Tua could be out here playing 3-card money. You're like,
Yeah.
I will say this.
Trick the cameraman.
A lot of poor kicking yesterday.
oh yeah.
Special teams in general. But what is going on?
Do you think the cameraman eats himself alive when that happens? Like when he actually gets deked out by the quarterback?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, stupid.
I mean, with the Dolphins, it happens once or twice a game.
He was like, what? I'm like, no.
Man.
Oh no.
It's not even him because there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the guy
It's the main guy.
in the studio in the truck who decides which shot to use.
Yeah, but I'd assume that the guy who is your main guy who's like got the pan shot right there, I assume that guy's like your most grizzled veteran of a cameraman. And when he gets deked, he's probably
I mean,
Fooled me again. A tight end reverse? Are you kidding me?
I tell you what, between Jonnu Smith has been coming on
balling
the last
Ooh.
maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And I think this is what they were kind of expecting. I'm just thinking all the special teams snafus.
yesterday.
Mixed extra point.
Mm-hmm.
Then they do an onside kick. Give up a touchdown on an onside kick. I mean, it's ridiculous. It was crazy.
You talking about the Cowboys game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game, they scored, hold on, 41 points in the fourth quarter between the two of them.
Sheesh. Pretty wild. But the game yesterday for the Dolphins, I mean, man, that was fun. It was fun. It was a party.
Fun. It
Killed
was.
them.
I really loved the way, the defense, they were all over him. And he made some plays. He's mobile.
Oh, he is mobile.
And by the way, pulling away from a bunch of guys when he scrambled.
Fast intangibles?
I mean, he was moving.
No, he was moving for sure.
He was moving because I saw a couple of guys chasing him. Looked like their hammies was going to blow out on the field.
Yeah, the only guy who seemed to be able to catch him was Job Robinson.
And then the other thing was, at the end of the game, near the end of the game, right, when the two safeties ran into each other, I'm like, what are we like? Did any like
Tyreek Hill?
It's funny because on defense, and pay attention to this when you watch a defensive game. Anything that goes behind them, they lose. So you always see those square ends. They always have to go behind the linebacker, right? You see the crossing route. The crossing route goes in front of the linebacker. Then there's a guy going behind him. Their rules of defense are such that they always lose any defender, any offensive player that goes behind them. So when those two guys ran into each other, they looked forward. They didn't look to see if anybody was behind them, even though the guy was covering him. Like, you covering him, you go, where did that 89 go? Like, right?
Tyreek Hill tweeted today, up early this morning, thinking about how good Zach Sieler is.
He ain't the only one.
Good.
You ain't the only one.
Monster. We'll take a break. Lots to get to here on the show. We got a lot of things to dive into from a busy, busy weekend. Canes victorious. Heat winning overtime. Panthers? Oh, what's going on, dude? It's that Panthers tryptophan lull.
You know they hit that rut once a year.
Business picked up on Thanksgiving, huh?
Well,
yeah, dude.
This is the first time this year, about a month beforehand, we have projected where this team would be, right? And so they look good. Green Bay look good, especially at home.
Yep.
Here's what you're going to have to do. Stop the run. Simple as that. Stop the run. Their quarterback does make some boneheaded mistakes.
He's willy-nilly with the football.
He's willy-nilly with the football, but if you don't stop the run, you're going to have a long day. And I'm going to just tell you, I'm worried about that part of it.
Sure.
I'm worried about that part of it. But all that being said, this team is in the best position to accomplish all of that. The only variable that I will throw at you, it might be cold as hell.
Look, it's impossible not to think about it. Like, it's one of those things, man. Like, and I know Tua, he had his point afterwards. It was a gangster quote that he said afterwards about, facing the cold weather. You got this, Froggy? This was Tua afterwards talking about what it's going to be like going to Green Bay, where it is going to be bitterly cold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to kill narratives. So let's go, bring it on.
Oh,
so. And
it's pretty goosies. I like that.
Here's the thing that I would like to really emphasize here. Like, and here's how I was taught because I came from Louisiana and I went up to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we only had a couple of games in the 4 years I was there that had snow. because our season ended. Our season was already over. So we played Ohio State the week before Thanksgiving. And we only played, 11 games. So that was it. So we never got into December. We never played a game in December, except my freshman year when we went to Hawaii. So that didn't count. So when you think about now and the way college football is now it goes late into December, November, and the first week of December. So it wasn't until I got to Cleveland where I actually played, well into December. And the thing about it is that regardless of where you play, it's still cold for them too.
Yeah, but look, he's a quarterback from Hawaii. It's a team from Miami. We have the memories of KC, Tennessee, Buffalo, those performances at the end of the year. And that's why he says something like that. He's ready to kill the nerve because it is what it is. Like, he's got the chance to do it.
How many people on the team? Because they said that before. Dan Marino is from up north.
He's from Pittsburgh.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you just because you play on a team that comes from warm weather doesn't mean you never play in the cold.
He was going to go practice being in the winter by going to Maryland.
He just said that to mess with you guys.
He didn't say it to mess. He's like, woof, cold. It's like 45.
Well, he could have stayed in South Florida this weekend.
I would tell you what. Here's a boss move. If Bill Belichick had this team, right, they would go up north and practice during the week.
I like it.
No, it's stupid.
Why?
Like, look, we played in Minnesota. Denny would open up the door for the indoor building so it'd blow cold air in there. So it'd be cold. He says, if it's cold, you be brisk. You pay attention. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. Like, I just become I want to just, I
pay less attention.
Right,
We have
exactly.
that
I'm worried
problem
about
in
everything
improv.
but football. But here's the problem in Minnesota. Think about it. I want you to think about this. It was so cold in Minnesota that he had to close the door. They turned on the heater and put it as hot as it could go for 2 full days before we got there on Wednesday. By the time we got to practice on Wednesday, so that's like almost 3 full days of cranking your heater up as high as it will go, the temperature was 13 degrees indoors. Outside, it was a wind chill of minus 60.
Jesus.
So
is that Siberia?
Dude, it gets so cold up there. Like, you get up in the morning, you go outside, and you're just angry.
Look, it is the narrative killer, right? It gets you back to 5. It gets you back to 500. You beat a good team. You beat them on the road. You beat them in prime time. You beat them on a holiday. You beat them in the elements, and you officially get your season back to new life.
Here's what I like about what's happening here. The guys you got to stop the run or cold weather linemen, Calais, Zach Sieler.
Trust me when I tell you, Zach Sieler, he don't fret the cold.
I mean,
he's a bear.
Chop comes from Penn State. So, I'm surprised you didn't send this. I'm surprised you didn't send it. Right? I thought it was coming.
What? Chop. Marcos did.
Yeah, that's why.
Not to be confused with
Sieler it on up. So, everybody hit whenever he makes a play. My mentions blow up on social media. I'm like, Sieler.
Hey,
he did it. You got Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell after the game. We love hearing from this beautiful voice after a victory. He's fired up. Here was Calais Campbell to the locker room.
I see trees of green.
Sorry. Wrong one.
Gets me every time.
So sorry.
It's a good feeling. We don't mean nothing if we don't get this next one. This next one's everything. It's mental toughness. Thanksgiving football, prime time. We need this. We need this one. Whatever it takes. W3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, he's the best.
Oh, yeah.
You notice that family came in unison. Wasn't nobody messing around.
Whatever you say, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm telling you. Yeah, everybody had, you just had that guy in the locker room. Just look at him and say, I don't want no part of that.
Who catches him on a bad day? Because he seems like a pretty pleasant giant.
I told you, I accidentally caught John Randall on a bad day. I had to pick up my stool. Thought it was gonna be go time.
I love how you went for the stool first.
No, I could tell he came over with some evil intentions.
Okay.
So I was just in case.
Schmeathan says that Calais is the next Dan Campbell.
No.
Too much money, right? Like he's really rich.
No, it's not that. It's not that. See, here's the kicker. People who have been great at their job, right? Don't want to spend any more time doing it when it's done. Right? Deion's an exception. You don't have too many Hall of Fame players that go on to be, coaches and spend all that time. So when you look at guys who played that end up being coaches, backup quarterbacks, reserve players that played for a long time. What, Dan Campbell played tight end?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mike Tice, tight end.
Yeah, JT doing it now at the U.
Huh?
JT. He's into it.
He's into it. He's into it. But it very like it's.
I think somebody's gonna be calling for him, right? Or is
but
he
keep in mind, here's the other caveat to this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are into coaching because of their kids.
With their kids, it's true.
Right?
Yeah, he was at St. Thomas.
Right.
Helping his kids play.
Right.
College
And
ball.
you look at
but he kept doing it.
Yeah, you look at Deion.
Yep.
You see what I mean? So there's that. But a lot of guys Dan Marino couldn't even be an office guy. He didn't even want to be office guy.
I wouldn't be an office guy if I was him.
GM or
in today's day and age with remote things, I think Dan Marino would have taken the job.
Okay, but you see what I'm saying?
Do a Zoom meeting, from a golf cart.
But you understand what I'm saying? It's a crazy thing. Like the time constraints, the time you have to put in it to be good, right? That steers a lot of people away from it.
You think everybody has Thanksgiving when they get back, or do they have Thanksgiving tomorrow? Like, what do we? The Dolphins. Or do you have a celebratory plain Thanksgiving? Once you once it's
they'll probably have they'll have Thanksgiving food on the plane, right? I know what I did.
What'd you do?
We got back Thursday at.
Yours was in Dallas?
In Dallas, right. We played the early game. So our game started at 12. We got back to Minnesota.
Stole that turkey leg.
Yeah.
You stole the turkey leg?
Nah, Randy stole it from me.
Turkey leg. Greatest 3-catch performance of all time.
Did he steal it or did he?
No, he took it.
Pretty good game.
So I want to say we got back at like 10. My flight left at 5 in the morning. I came right down here because we didn't have to be back until Wednesday.
Oh, the following week?
Yeah. Because that's why they call it a mini bye.
Oh, that's
so
good.
We got Tuesday. At the time, I think we were 10-1.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is the thing with the Dolphins that's been awesome is, I mean, they did lose Walker the linebacker yesterday.
What did he hurt?
I think they said hamstring during the game.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He went down like he got shot.
Yeah, and he knew it right away because you could tell he was just right.
But man, this is about as good as they've looked. Everybody is pretty much there.
Can you put it all around one guy? Tua.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like it's hard. It's hard for people to admit this when he's not here, right? And then they see him and they still try to be reluctant about it because they want to be right.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is this team is a different team with Tua.
Definitely.
What if I take Josh Allen off of the like?
I don't even know who their backup is. Who they
right?
Mitchell Trubisky.
They
okay.
Still, yeah.
So
Trubisky's been there for years.
let me ask you a question. So Josh Allen has to miss four games.
Yeah.
What do you think they're gonna think of Mitchell Trubisky after 4 weeks?
I don't know, because Josh Allen's allowed to have concussions. We all saw that this year.
But I'm just like, it's if you invest a lot of money in something, very rarely do you go into it saying, I better get a backup. Right? You just don't. And it's unfortunate. That's the way the money is spent nowadays.
Look, what he needs though is he's got this opportunity here in the middle of the season because yes, what he's done. I mean, his numbers are mind blowing. They're incredible, but he needs if he could bring them all the way back out of the depths of hell, which is where this season felt like it was, in front of everybody, in front of a quarterback in his draft class, a quarterback who also got paid this offseason. He knows it's a narrative killer. He knows it. He knows it. And I think he wants to do it. And I think he can do it, because it does feel like if he doesn't, and, you got to be mindful. I don't know. Even in the games they've lost, he's looked great, but people will still be rat bastards if they don't get this done.
Yeah. It sucks.
But Leroy,
he's one of the few people that every game we put a narrative on it. And if they don't win, it's an epic failure because he actually really played good against Buffalo.
He did.
And we don't,
Play
we
good
just
against
go
Arizona
back to the
too,
narrative.
if it wasn't for muffing that stupid snap.
Yeah.
You got Jaylen Waddle. Jaylen Waddle gave us some news after the game. I'm not pleased about it. And it's not great news to hear, but it is what it is. He's a grown man, and I guess we got to respect his decision.
Tua kind of did a no look. It kind of messed me up a little bit. But, yeah, man, just had determination. Wes been telling me, about getting in the box all week, previous weeks, and, just have to fight to get in there for real.
Have you seen that Stephen Ross did the Waddle again?
I did not. Mr. Ross be hitting it, though. He be hitting it.
Are you waiting for a huge moment, or what's going on with the Waddle?
I don't know, man. It was getting out of hand. When I go out in public, people be trying to tell me to do it. So it's just
You just let him go to Publix.
Waddle, do the thing. Do the thing.
Come on. Well, the other thing too is I think he's putting in the holster because you remember what the other thing is. A lot of opponents were doing it too. That became the way to mock the Dolphins is to do the Waddle
for sure.
And he's like, "Why are you guys doing my thing? I didn't throw the interception.
Wasn't even on defense.
Who was that? Didn't the Packer guy do it? I saw a clip today of the Packer guy doing it last time they beat the Dolphins. He did the Waddle into the tunnel as they beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, you see people do the Cam Ward. Every time someone has a signature. Unfortunately,
he's gonna bust it out again. But I think you know what you put it. I think it's a smart move. You retire it for a little bit, or not even retire. You just put it on ice. All right, Penguins love ice, so you put it on ice for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, once the Dolphins get back into the playoffs, boom, that's where it is. The big one.
Don't know why they were so eager last year.
Who gets the turkey legs now? By the way, now that Madden is no longer with us, does anybody do that bit anymore?
They do it. I think Tom Brady's on the game.
Tom Brady does the turkey leg. He doesn't even eat turkey. He eats tofu.
It's not a turkey. It's a turducken.
Sorry.
Ugh.
Get it right.
I was looking at the stats, by the way, Leroy. You may have been robbed. 5 carries, 2 touchdowns, out-dueled Emmitt Smith. Pretty good.
Take a break.
Hey, when Brady caught that hitch and went down the sidelines, it was no doubt. It was no doubt.
Leroy's like, there goes my turkey.